We recently bought a new home and we had to decide what to do with our first home. We were privileged enough to be able to purchase our next home without having to sell the first one. So then we had to decide, do we go ahead and sell it or do we rent it out and become landlords for a new income stream? This was the debate that we went back and forth on for a while, but we had to come to a decision because we can't pay 2 mortgages forever. Honestly, we debated this endlessly for quite a while. We could not decide if we actually wanted to become landlords or not, and there were pros and cons for both options, so we had a lot to think about. We were leaning toward becoming landlords and starting a real estate investing journey because we have a good investing portfolio, but we want to diversify because who knows what will happen in the coming years, and we want to make this the best choice for our family. So you can understand our decision. I'm going to share the actual pros and cons of the decision that we were trying to make, which was, do we want to become landlords? It would be simple to sell our home and take the equity that we have. However, it's a little more difficult to commit to renting out our home and becoming landlords. Here are the pros of renting out our home. Number 1, it's in a great location. It is a fantastic neighborhood for rentals. Most of our street is rentals already. This is a great location that's central to everything where we live. It's affordable. It is a great rental property location. Everyone that knows us in real life and knows where we live encouraged us to rent it out because of this location. Another pro is that we've actually considered beginning real estate investing for a long time, but we're hesitant to pull the trigger. There are so many unknowns with doing this, and with this house, we know everything about it. We've lived here for years. We know what's going on. We know the potential repairs that are coming down the line, and we don't have to start over from scratch with a lot of unknowns with a new house. Another pro is that it diversifies our investments. With the stock market super volatile lately, a good return there is not guaranteed. With real estate, we know that even with expenses, even with a potential bad tenant situation, we still have an expected return on that investment that we have put into the house. And with that, we are also diversifying our investments. So if the stock market's not doing well, we still have a different investment that could be doing well with the property. I'm all about diversifying to reduce risk so that we have our money spread around and one investment will not ruin us. Another pro is that it creates a new income stream. Having a house that you're renting out brings in rental income, and that's a new income stream for our family, which can eventually replace our jobs or be something that grows over time as we continue to invest in real estate. If you follow this channel or my other channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of multiple income streams, so adding another one was very appealing to me. And the final pro is that there's new technology now that makes being a landlord a lot easier, like the sponsor of this video, Baselane. I knew that using something like Baselane would help us consolidate the amount of time and tools that we needed to rent out a home. So having a all-in-one tool would make it so much easier because I wouldn't have to be juggling 6 to 9 different tools for rent collection and bookkeeping, and I could make this be a very simple process, and that's what I liked. Instead of using 6 to 9 different tools, I could just use Baselane for everything, which meant it would save me a ton of time and make being a landlord super easy compared to what I was expecting when I first thought about this idea. But still, we were not sure. After all of those pros and thinking this is a great idea, we still had a lot of doubt. We weren't sure if we wanted to take on the risk of something going wrong by becoming a landlord, so there were some cons we talked about as well. First con, did we want to spend time learning how to become landlords and actually being landlords? Did we want to learn how to collect rent? Did we want to learn how to screen tenants? Did we want to do all of the maintenance on the home? Did we want to put in the actual work that comes with being a landlord? It's not just collecting money, you do still have to maintain the property, and did we want to take that on? I wasn't really sure. I know that with my husband in school, us with 2 kids, me running a business, my husband still working full-time, that's a lot going on. Did we have the bandwidth to actually become landlords? And the other con, what about all the horror stories and the risk of bad tenants? I've heard a lot of bad stories about bad tenants that have ruined homes, not paid rent, had to be evicted. That, of course, is scary. It's one of the risks with real estate investing. That was a con that I've heard a lot about, and I wasn't sure if we really wanted to dive in with that risk. So what exactly did we decide and why? Obviously, you may be guessing it by now, but ultimately we decided that we are going to rent out our first home and start our real estate investing journey. I am so nervous, but also really excited about this decision. Of course, there are two main reasons why we decided this. First, baselane does actually make being a landlord a lot easier. Before signing up, I did do a lot of research. I read reviews and found other successful real estate investors using their platform to make sure that it was legitimate and could work for us. Having an all-in-one platform made things less daunting. Instead of having to figure out how to collect rent, how to screen tenants, how to organize my finances for the rental from scratch, I knew that starting with baselane would give me a good jumping off point where I could have everything organized and they would help me through it. Considering how overwhelmed I felt about the idea of starting being a landlord from scratch and learning everything on my own, the idea was a lot easier once I discovered this because I knew it would make it so much easier. I loved that with baselane, the rent collection process was automated and hands-free. I don't have to create a new spreadsheet. I don't have to beg the tenant to Zelle me their money. There are a lot of things that using this platform will remove from the landlord process, and that made me feel a lot more confident with this decision. I also appreciated that they have unlimited checking and savings accounts so that I can open multiple and put money into little sinking funds where I can save up for repairs, keep the security deposit, make things organized in a way that works for my brain. I love organizing my finances with multiple accounts, and I've used that in my personal finances over the years successfully. So I knew that doing it with the real estate investment in mind would make things a lot simpler. Overall, the ability to automate a lot of the things that I was worried about when we went through this decision-making process made it a lot easier to decide to rent out our home. Second, this decision does not have to be permanent. We do not have to commit to renting out this house forever. We can try it for a year, and if it doesn't work or if we have a horrible experience, if we decide in a year that being a landlord is not for us, then we can sell this home and use the equity then. It's not a all-in-one decision for the rest of our lives. This is something that makes sense right now and we can pursue right now and see if we like it, see if it works, see if it actually does build wealth for our family like all of the gurus say. I think a lot of times people think that decisions have to be black or white, and honestly, that is never really the case. You can decide something for now and then later change your mind and go the different direction. Maybe this will work out, maybe this won't work out. Maybe we will love being landlords, maybe we will hate being landlords. I don't really know, and I can't predict which will happen. I felt like it was worth it to ourselves and to our financial future to see if this worked for us and if this was something that we wanted to pursue further by buying more properties, by growing a real estate investing empire. I don't know. This is our first step and it's a small one. It's a very small one. It feels like it is a tiptoe into becoming a real estate investor without as much risk as starting from scratch completely. And that felt like a good chance to see if this is for us or not. I'm excited to give it a try and to see if we like this, to see if renting out our home is something that we love doing, if it's something that we want to pursue further by buying more properties, or if it's something that is not for us and we just love investing in the stock market. We love building wealth that way. I'm not totally sure. I'm not sold on either one being right for us, but I know that I'm excited to give it a try. I'm excited to rent out this house, to show you guys how it happens, to show the ups and the downs of this journey. If you have thought about renting out a house, becoming a landlord, becoming a real estate investor, you can watch and follow the journey here at Pennies Not Perfection, because I'm going to share all of the details and the ups and downs so that you can see what it really looks like when someone is starting from scratch and doesn't really know what they're doing, but they're learning and they're growing and they're not a guru trying to sell you a course, because I have no knowledge to give anyone. I am just sharing what we are doing in our experience. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next real estate investing video where I share what we're doing to get this house ready for renters. Definitely subscribe to Pennies Not Perfection to follow along as we learn about real estate investing and share our journey with you. I will see you in the next video where I share what we're doing to this house, all the repairs we have to make in order to get it ready for renters.